Hey guys, so I've had some comments on doing a build video with the Dronewolf pup and setting everything up. So instead of doing a build video for 30 minutes and showing me solder everything up, what I think I'll do is I'll show you the components that I use for it, and then I'll show you after I've already had everything soldered up and done how it's hooked up, and also how I hook everything up in Cleanflight, and we'll probably do a maiden after that. So inside, we'll start with the TBS Core PNP50. This OSD is what I've been using now for a little bit. I've kind of gone back and forth trying a couple other ones, minimum OSD, things on that nature, but it was just too confusing to get them set up and going. This one just works for me and I'm very happy with it. For VTX, for my video, I've been using this guy here, the FX799T 600 milliwatt. It's nice, it has a mic built into it. It has a little button there, it'll change your channels and frequencies. And a nice little JST connector that you could, hot glue and get your connection on there pretty nice. So I've also been using this X4R SB. It's basically my receiver for my transmitter. It's D-pinned and it makes a nice clean direct soldered setup. I think Charles over at FPVlog should be having some in stock here pretty soon, so you could get them over there that are D-pinned already. It has the little bind button over here, smart port telemetry in the corner for the guys that want to run that. And overall, I mean, S-Bus is the way to go. For my ESCs, I've been using a KISS 30 amp ESCs. So the 24s are out there. I'm going to try and get my hands on some of those and see how those are running. But these 30 amps are literally, they're a workhorse, and I haven't had any problems with them whatsoever. I definitely recommend, if you're going to use an ESC, go with KISS. Again, I just want to fly. I don't want to play around with a bunch of settings and everything, and this is the way to go. For my FPV camera, I use this mini FPV cam. You see them all over the place. Prices kind of vary. I think this is HS1117 is the model number. I might be wrong. It comes with a 2.8 millimeter lens. I don't like using that lens too much. I do like using this one here. This is a 2.5 millimeter. It gives me a little bit bigger field of view, but not as much as, like, say, the 2.1s that are more fish-eyed. I tried those out and I just really didn't like them that much. Go into a flight controller. I've been using this Seriously Dodo from Ready Made RC for quite a while now. I really like it. Again, it's simple to set up. Some people have a couple problems. If you look, there are the boot pins right here that you need to jump. If you do have problems setting it up, you could always give me a comment on if you need any help with it, and I'll walk you through it if I can. So it's definitely, it's a good board. It's an F3 processor that's on here, so you do have kind of all the bells and whistles in this board. I do have the KISS board coming, so I'm gonna compare and see how that goes, but for now this is my board of choice. Lately I've been using, this is the Maytech Mini Power Hub. It's a power distribution board. It's nice, it kind of has everything I need on it. It has a couple extra things for 5-volt step down, a 12-volt step down. I don't use the setup here for the VTX or the camera. I just don't need to, but it has everything for my ESCs to be set up, and having this onboard step down is great. So for motors, still you know, I've liked them since the beginning is using these Cobras, the 2204, 2300 kV. They're a strong motor for what I need to do. I mean, they take a beating, and I really like everything that has come out of these motors. I've never had a problem with them. I know some people had magnet slipping and whatnot. I think I literally had one motor that was bad for me with a magnet slipping. So when you get your Dronewolf pup in the mail, this is how it comes. It's nicely sealed, everything's in here. You don't have to look around for anything. It's gonna come with this little sheet here on the back side. It has all your instructions on how everything goes together, which is really nice. And the quality of these parts is, to me, I mean, unbelievable. The carbon is a really nice carbon. He's really, Brandon over there has put his time into making sure everything is right for this quad here. All the pieces, I mean, they've been cut very nice. You could probably see in the light here, if I could get it to focus in the weave and the carbon and everything. I really like it. It's a strong frame. I've been beating it up, and it's literally held together quite nicely for me. So, you know, go check it out. I know there's plenty of frames out there, but I highly recommend going with this one. So we'll put everything together, and we'll see you on the part 2 of this. Okay, so now we're back with everything soldered up and put in its place. I'll go over everything with you, what I did. If there's anything that I might leave out or you have a question about, feel free to leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you with everything. So what I started with is getting the motors all hooked up to the arms with the ESCs. What I like about these ESCs, what I was saying before, is you could just direct solder everything. It's very minimal. There is a little jumper pad. I'll see if I can like focus on it here, and you'll see it. It's right in there, those 2 little jumper pads. Those you kind of just jump to turn the motor direction. That's pretty much it. Everything else is pretty simple with these ESCs, along with any of the other ones in their line, the 24 amp, 18. They're all pretty good. We have the TBS core OSD here, what I hooked up. You do have to kind of splice some connections going in here. I do put this red tape, it's like a 3M red tape on the bottom that kind of just helps with like some vibration dampening, and I'll put some on the top here to help out with you know, some vibration also, and stick it to the top plate. You can see where I kind of spliced into the wires here going to my VTX right here. So it's basically I still run the 12 volts to my power distribution board. I'll see if I could show you down here, if I could get this to focus, bear with me. So there's the little jumper pads on the bottom. You might not be able to see those 2 little soldered, but it's 12 volts on that step down. And that's what I use to power everything up here. The rest goes over to the OSD, into the line here, and then from the other side it goes into the camera, where you can see I spliced the wires going into that direction. So that's everything hooked up on that end. I run the wires and everything direct solder for the signal wires. You can see that little glob. There's actually lots of globs of hot glue. I like to just hot glue all the little circuit little deals and everything, and diodes and whatever it may be. And I also like hot gluing these signal wires right here, so in case they fray or anything, like who knows what might happen, they just don't touch, and you know, nothing else will touch it as well, short something out or get a bad ground. We move here. This is the the RX for my transmitter. It's directly soldered right in there. You can see there's a little glob of hot glue again. Same thing over here. I put some hot glue on the antennas. It just you know, helps with everything. Why not? If you have some hot glue, why not hot glue everything? It's a extra precaution that goes a long way. Here I direct solder these pins as well, straight to the board. That's your just ground power, and it's going to my UART3 for S-Bus. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's not a whole lot that I do. I do flip this board around, the direction of the board. I'm gonna have to, in Cleanflight, turn it 90 degrees, but it gives me a little ease of connecting here from the side rather than going in the back. It's easier to plug in. But other than that, that's pretty much it. This is gonna flip over here, and everything's gonna just pretty much get smashed on top here. I have the GoPro mount that gets bolted in from Dronewolf, that goes there, and I put just a piece of Velcro over here to secure my lipos down, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and the wires here, the antenna wires, I feed those up with another piece of zip tie through these holes here, and then I just use a shrink wrap on them pretty low. I don't go too high with them. I don't want to get in the way and having these long like whiskers sticking out. So I put it through those holes, and then the rest is pretty much done, and then just attach your antenna, and that's about it. So that's kind of the guts of the pup, how I set everything up. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll get back to you on them. Thanks.